Sorry about that, guys. A technical difficulty. My microphone was muted. Once again, we are here in the War Room with a very great interview with somebody I've been a fan of for a very long time. And I'm so excited to actually sit down and talk with him. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to take a chance to plug the amazing sponsors who make this show happen each and every single week. First of which being A-Rock Designs. A-Rock Designs is a custom business who makes all those cool wrestling cups you see floating around. Whether it be wrestling related, non-wrestling related, anything you guys want, make sure you go to A-Rock Designs and place your orders on Facebook. Also, guys, storefrontier.com/wrestling review society to get some amazing merch like this hoodie I'm wearing. We have t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, just about anything you guys want, even face masks. We know you need those when you go out in public now. So go to storefrontier.com/wrestling review society and score yourself some amazing merch. Once again, guys, I do apologize for having my microphone on mute at the beginning of this. I'm just really excited and nervous at the same time, but without any further ado, I want to bring on my guest. There's nothing I can say about this man that's going to do it justice. He's an absolutely phenomenal worker, but wrestling isn't everything this man does. He's done books, movies, he has his own business, so I'm very much looking forward to sitting down and talking to him. You may know him as Just Too Good, Just Too Gangster, Jay the God, but we're just going to call him JTG. Jay, what's going on, man?
Everything's going great. Great intro. Thank you.
It would have been a great intro if I didn't have that microphone on mute. I did the same thing when you popped in. My wife came in and she was holding the phone up because she had it on YouTube. She was like, "Your microphone's muted." I'm just a little nervous. I mean, I've been a fan of yours for such a long time, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. Right now, I'm a little under the weather. It's not the Rona, so don't nobody get scared. I got tested, but no, I do have like a flu.
All right,
Been
well,
doing a lot of traveling, past couple of days, especially for Thanksgiving. So I think I'm indestructible, but this flu is humbling me.
well, thankfully it's not Rona, and hopefully whatever it is, you get over it very soon. You've got a lot of bookings coming up. You've got a lot of stuff you're working on, so the flu can't slow you down, man.
No, no, I actually had a show tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 5th, right?
It
Yeah, actually,
tomorrow's the 4th.
tomorrow's the 4th. Oh, I had a show. I had a show on the 5th, this Saturday, but it got canceled because of the COVID restrictions, so they got rescheduled. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise.
So we're gonna jump around a little bit. I need to rearrange a few of my questions for you, and it's gonna make sense in a minute. But when you got into pro wrestling, you didn't take the normal route like we so often see people working the indies. You worked in OVW, and you were trained by several others. Who did you get your training from?
So my first ever trainer, that happened in North Carolina. I had family in North Carolina. I couldn't find any wrestling schools in New York City, so I knew for sure that North Carolina had some schools, and I had family there, so it would be easy for me to go there and have an easy adjustment. But I got taken for my money. I was young. He probably trained me maybe like 4 or 5 times. He kind of just left me at the school. So I was like, all right, I had enough of this. And everything kept pulling me to OVW. And my first trainer when I got to OVW was Nick Densmore, who's
Mm-hmm.
known to the world as Eugene.
Absolutely.
He taught me, he reintroduced me to how to hit the ropes, how to bump, all the basics. And then I eventually got turned to Rip Rogers, and Rip Rogers is the one who taught me how to tell a story. He taught me how to work, not just wrestle, but he taught me how to work an audience, how to work a mic, and how to carry myself backstage.
So, I think it's very cool that you say you were trained by Nick Densmore, also known as Eugene,
Mhm.
because as fans, we kind of see the character he portrayed, and we weren't privileged to the other side of that fourth wall. What was he like in being a trainer? Like, how much did he influence you?
Well, he taught me the basics because he at that time he was still working full time at OVW,
Hmm.
and then he was just getting called up to WWE. So I didn't spend that much time with him, but he taught me enough to know how to carry myself in the ring, just to do the basic moves. But telling a story and putting a match together, I didn't learn that until I got with Rip Rogers.
I got you. Well,
Yeah.
the reason I bring that up first is because, like I told you in the before we went live, we have a few surprises for you, and the
Hmm.
first one is going to happen right now.
Sweet.
Um, Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us at this time. JTG, you know him. We all love him. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Eugene.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Is this, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
my words?
we can hear you, buddy. How you
Hi,
doing?
JTG. You know what? JTG worked so hard when he first started wrestling, but I want to let everybody in on a little secret. That JTG's actually a mama's boy. Yeah,
Yes.
I tell him every day, is Jason going to be okay? Is he going to be okay? Every day, worrying about Jason.
Yep,
Yeah,
that sounds like my mom. My mom was calling me like, "You want to take care of my son?" And I remember you told her, "This is not a day. This is not a daycare."
but they
Yep.
want me to come here and surprise you because I got something for you. Whenever this COVID comes down, I run Midwest All Pro Wrestling in Sioux Falls, and I want to tell everybody that JTG isn't as hard street as he is. He's dressed up, and that's a costume, and I want to challenge him to a tuxedo match.
Tuxedo match. Okay.
Once COVID clears, we're gonna sell out Sioux Falls. I'm gonna show everybody that that you got legs like a chicken.
Oh
Oh, this
man, it's good
And
to
then
hear you, Eugene.
give me that Royal Rumble ticket. You gave Eugene that Royal Rumble ticket, remember? And it was
Those
a
are still
horrible
good.
Royal
You can
Rumble
still use
ticket.
it. You can still use it. January is this next month. You can still use those tickets, those numbers.
Still redeemable.
they're, still, they're still redeemable. There's no expiration date on them.
Eugene, thank you so much for making the time to stop by and say hey to your friend. I do have a question for you, if you're willing, for both of you, actually. I was going to ask this a little bit later, but like I kind of hinted at earlier, both of you kind of had this gimmick during the time where it was okay. Do you guys think either one of your gimmicks would get over today?
We would get so over. Are you kidding me? Because it's so bland vanilla right now. Two over the top characters like we are could take off if you get that pencil behind you.
I don't know
JTG, do you
about
think the crime time gimmick would get over today?
it'll probably get over, but we probably get canceled due to with Twitter. How Twitter's running right now.
Eugene,
Great
thanks.
times. I'm training wrestling right now, so I'm gonna go.
Thank you so much.
Good talking to you, Eugene.
Had to surprise you. I love the opportunity to try to pop my guest, and
You got me. You
whenever.
got me. That was a good one.
Thank you. So, getting back into your story, I know it seems silly going to your training first, but were you always attracted to pro wrestling, or when did you discover pro wrestling?
Oh, no, I always wanted to be a professional wrestler since the age of 2. Both my parents were wrestling fans, so it was kind of like I grew up in the business, but I didn't grow up in the business. I just grew up watching it on TV as a very young as a very young child, and my mom taking me to MSG every month because the WWF used to run every month at the Gardens, and she would take me and my sister.
So, who are some of your favorites watching?
So growing up, it was definitely Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and let me see who else. During the '80s era, it was Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and the Rockers, Ultimate Warrior, of course. And then during the '90s, I started leaning more towards the Bret Hart. That turned to be my hero. And then late '90s, it was The Rock, then Jeff Hardy and RVD, and then JTG.
Well, the character, the gimmick, everything all the way around was just super entertaining, and I loved watching every second of it. So we talked about, or I kind of hinted at earlier, you didn't have the normal route to WWE that some people take, going through the indies and stuff. You went straight to OVW. What was
Yeah.
that transition like, and how did you find OVW?
Um, OVW was mind blowing. It had everything you needed. I remember my first time going there. Well, they switched the arenas. At first, it was an Indian. They had the training in Indianapolis, where they had recorded their first TV shows, and then they
Mm-hmm.
only had probably had like one or two practices there, and then we moved it to the Davis Arena. And I was just in awe of, like, this is the place where, you know, uh, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, John Cena, they all trained here. And then it was so professional. Like, I knew I was in the right spot. I knew where I needed to be. If I wanted to be a WWE superstar, I was in the right place.
Absolutely, and everybody always focuses on that big class that came through with uh, Brock, Randy, Cena, Shelton. Who were some of
Hmm.
the other guys that you got to work with while you were there?
I got to Carlito. Who else? Chris Masters, uh, Santino. We trained together. Abraham Washington. Uh, a lot of the what you call the Spirit Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. They were there during my when I was coming up.
So, and it's, a lot of those people being there when you came up, we see them again popping up throughout your career. First one that I'd like to talk about is Abraham Washington, because everybody knows Crime Time.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you and Shad being the guys who go out there, you steal from one person, sell it to another. Um, Absolutely awesome. But what a lot of people may not understand is you were actually in a tag team before Crime Time, the
Mhm.
Gangstars with Abraham Washington.
Yeah,
How
and it
how
was
did that form, and then how did that lead to Crime Time?
that. Yeah, the Gangstars look was all Abraham Washington's idea. I remember he called me. We had an amateur show coming up. Before you in OVW, they have amateur shows for the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one coming up, and he wanted to be my tag team partner. I'm like, all right, cool, we could do that. And then he said, I got this idea. I want to run it by you. You from New York. You're gonna represent the East Coast. You're gonna right now 50 Cent is popping. You're gonna get the bulletproof vest. You're gonna have You're gonna have grills. You're gonna come out with fitted hats and Tims. I'm gonna represent the dirty South, and I'm gonna come out my pants sagging, and I'm like, whoa, this sounds so stereotypical, man. I just want to wrestle. At the time, I was watching a whole bunch of Chris Benoit tapes, so I wanted to be like a mat technician,
Mm-hmm.
studying grapple holds. And he's like, come on, man, I ain't gonna make no money, man. You need to have personality, you need to have character, and this is a good look. We both, charismatic. We both could pull it off. And I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. Why not? We got everything. We got the bulletproof vest. We got some fake grills, some fake mall jewelry. Um, bought some Timberland boots, and we showed up to the amateur class for the show, and we blew the roof off, and we decided to stick with it. Um, Everybody loved the look. Everybody loved the chemistry between me and Abraham Washington. But after a few months, he was having some personal issues, and it left me by myself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when the great minds of Al Snow and Danny Davis and Paul Heyman decided to put me and Shad together.
Now, one of the things that I really, really enjoyed about Crime Time, and you can tell there was an off-camera connection between you and Shad.
Yeah.
But something else that I really enjoyed was typically when you have this big man with a shorter man, you kind of have the short guy running his mouth, and then the big guy has to take care of everything. You guys weren't like that. You both went in there and just outworked everybody.
Well, thank you. Those are some big words. Outworked everybody, but yeah,
Well,
yeah. We both shared the load. We both was able to talk on the mic, and we both were able to carry ourselves in the ring.
it was so entertaining to watch, and every time you guys came out, you didn't know what you were gonna do from one moment to the next. Was there ever a skit where you guys had, and you thought, okay, this is the one that's gonna get us canceled?
Um, they, I think yeah, there was one. Well, I don't know about get us canceled, but there was sometimes we had to put our foot down because it was a little too stereotypical. I remember we was doing something for .com, and it was like a Christmas. I remember it being a Christmas special, and they wanted us to say something about being in the penitentiary, and I'm like, it was so cheesy and corny. It's like, we don't let's not do this. Let's skip it. He's like, it's coming from the office. I'm like, tell the office I'm not doing it. It just sounded really bad, the punchlines, and we didn't do it. Well, we also didn't get in trouble for it too either, but I had to put my foot down. It was really bad.
Well, if it was something for you to put your foot down, I can only imagine just how bad that was. But when did the whole idea start for you guys to start stealing people's merchandise and then selling it to the crowd?
Um, that just evolved. When we started doing the skits, when we did our vignettes, a lot of ideas spawned from those skits. You know, our catchphrase spawned from those skits. You know, we had no idea that was going to be our catchphrase, but we just said it in our vignettes. And the money, money, yeah, yeah, and it stuck. Same thing with the stealing. We didn't know that was going to be like a part of our character until, you know, we actually, you know, sat down with Vince. He was like, yeah, the vignettes y'all guys did was hilarious. We're gonna stick to that, and I want Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle was hot at the time. He's like, I want Dave Chappelle type skits, backstage segments with you guys. You guys are gonna be baby faces, but you're gonna be doing a lot of heelish stuff, and take Whitey to the bank. That was Vince Mann's exact words.
Now, I know you said in a recent interview that you did, you guys actually kept all the money except for one, which was Akon. He met you guys backstage and got the money back. But did the fans actually get to keep the merchandise that they bought?
Yep, they definitely did.
What was the most outrageous item you guys had sold?
Probably Lita's box.
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk to you about that one. that one in particular, because that was right after Lita's retirement match.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there was anything that kind of pushed the line of maybe we shouldn't do this, that might have taken the cake. Did you guys get any heat from anybody for doing that?
Fans, diehard Lita fans, but everybody else backstage loved it. We spoke to Lita about it before we went out, and she was cool with it. She told us to have fun and, you know, do your jobs. And I was like, all right. And we made a very historical moment that night.
It definitely leaves a lasting impression for sure. Just a few other things I want to talk to you about before we get into the things you've done since leaving WWE. You know, as a fan sitting back and watching it, I always wondered why you guys didn't get a championship run. Was there ever any reason you guys were one of the only teams that I can remember that debuted and beat the World Tag Team Champions? You
Break it up.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was there ever any reason given why you guys didn't get a run with the titles?
There's a few times we were supposed to actually get the title. Three occasions that I know of, and the first time we were supposed to win the titles in Africa, and we were released right before that, and they put the titles on Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got into that situation with Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. The second time we were supposed to win it from Legacy, and there was a incident with Shad and Cody, and they dropped the titles instead of us to what's his name, Kofi and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time we were supposed to win it, it was at SummerSlam against Chris Jericho and Big Show. And they changed. We were supposed to win it from them, but I think they changed it last minute, and they wanted to to work a feud with DX, so they wound up keeping the titles, and they dropped it to DX because DX really needed the tag team titles.
I don't know, man. I remember that SummerSlam like it was yesterday. You guys
Yeah.
versus Jericho. And after hearing that rumble throughout the stadium, I wasn't there live. I wish I was, but I imagine you could have heard that through any corner of that arena. Everybody wanted Crime Time that night, and it just blows my mind that after hearing that they changed it the last minute.
Yep, man. Politics.
So,
Uh-huh.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were
No,
you gonna
you're
say?
fine.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say politics at all. You just got to chop it up to politics. It had nothing to do with my in-ring ability. I know that I carry myself very
Absolutely.
very well in the ring, and whenever I am called for the occasion, I show up and I deliver. So it had nothing to do with my in-ring ability, just politics.
So those are a lot of the questions that we get, pre-submitted. Everybody wants to know about certain things, and stuff like that. So what I really want to get into is the things that you've done since leaving WWE, because when I started doing my homework on you,
Uh,
you are such a wrestling fan, and wrestling is a big part of your life, but it's not the only part of your life. You've actually written 2 books. You just released another one, and you even have your own beard care company.
yeah.
So, since leaving WWE, what has been your favorite business venture so far?
Favorite business venture so far. Oh man. So what have I done so far? Well, I enjoy acting. So being out here in LA, I go to a lot of auditions. I picked up a lot of commercials. I did a Geico commercial. I did a commercial a few months ago. It still hasn't aired yet. I don't know why. I got the part by doing a Macho Man impersonation, and I got the part for a bike commercial. Um, what else? Did a few movies. About to shoot one next month. I'm working on a TV series right now. With 3 of my other buddies who also are writing and working on different scripts in Hollywood. Um, and I have a beard care business that's going on about 2 years now. I just finished writing a fitness ebook specifically targeting arms, biceps, because I get a lot of compliments on my arms, and everybody wants to know what's my secrets and what tips and tricks do I have. So I came out with an ebook.
You don't
Um,
look like your arms should be that big. Like it's very intimidating. Jay, I am 6'5", 280, and I don't my arm. Your arms make me look like my 6-year-old.
well, if you want the secrets, I'll send you a copy of the ebook. I got you. I haven't launched it yet. The book is done. I'm just waiting. I did video links just in case some of the because it's actually for newbies. It's called the Newbies Guide to Big Biceps. So a lot of the workouts they have to see it. So I did some videos. So I'm just waiting for the editor to finish that up, and I'll put the book out.
Now, is the book strictly about biceps, or does it have like diet tips in it as well?
Yeah, there has some few diet tips, few tips and tricks post workout and pre workout and during your workout. Yeah, I have a lot of good information in there. You definitely want to check out.
Oh, absolutely. Because I was going to ask you how has your regiment changed, but I guess that would be giving away the book, and they're going to have to go check out the book.
Yeah, they gotta go get the book.
So,
It'll be on Amazon Amazon Kindle.
oh, absolutely, definitely going to have to check it out. I mean, if you guys haven't seen, and I know it's hard because we're on a very small screen, but if you guys haven't seen the size JTG has got in, you really have to check it out. It's very intimidating.
Well, I want to thank that to my what another project that I have coming out is called TMOS. It's called T is for testosterone, and the boss is C. I don't know if you're familiar with CMOS.
Mm-hmm.
I take CMOS every morning in my smoothies, and I also take a bunch of other herbs and supplements that naturally help me raise my testosterone naturally. Because I'm against like steroids. I'm against like anything that's like chemical. Like it's all natural, all organic, and that's going to be on the market this month too. T-Mall, so look out for it.
Oh, absolutely. Um, so you've recently started taking your independent bookings again.
Hmm.
Um, is the independent scene something that you want to stick with, or are you looking to get back into pro wrestling full time with maybe this championship here behind me?
Which one is that? Oh, AEW. That's AEW title you're mentioning. You're referring
I,
to
I mean, let's not pretend you didn't post a picture of it.
me. Um,
I believe they
it-
call
it-
that calling your shot.
yeah, calling shooting your shot. You mean shooting your shot? Yeah. Um, right now, I'm having a lot of fun on independent scene. You know, a lot of freedom. I get to pick my dates. Um, and I get to really engage with the fans. Um, but as far as full time wrestling with either AEW, WWE, Impact, whoever calls me with the right number, I'm all for it. I'm all about the you know money, money, yeah, yeah. So we'll see.
So I want to go to one of our viewer questions we have right now, and it is from Daniel Smith. He says, "Hi, Kevin and JTG. What has been your best? What has been your best highlight in your career so far?"
Highlights of my career. I say this all the time, but has been working with Big Show and Chris Jericho. As growing up as a teenager, I was always a big fan of Chris Jericho, his charisma, his in-ring ability, his swagger, and when I was able to perform, wrestle him, on a loop, and on a pay-per-view, that's probably had to be the biggest highlight of my career. Even Big Show too, working Big Show, it was mind-boggling how I was able to, people actually thought we were going to beat Chris Jericho and Big Show. That means that they believed in us. We stepped up to the bat, to the plate, and we showed out.
When when I say that there was not a single person on the face of the planet who thought Jericho was going over that night, like I understand that you guys are very humble. Maybe not so much now, Jay the God, but you know everybody wanted that to happen. Every single person. And for you to grow up a wrestling fan and for that to be the highlight of your career, how much more special would that have been if you would have actually got to win the title that night? I mean,
Oh man, I would have been amazing. I would have had photos. I would have had photos. I should have photos, even though I didn't win because I did work Jericho and Big Show. But I would definitely had photos with me with the belt around my house right now.
so I with you going into the independent scene, do you wish that you would have done this prior to WWE? Do you think there's learning material going through the independent scene that you didn't have back then that you do now?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot working the independent scene, but everything happened the way it did. In OVW, I wrestled every weekend. Or if I didn't wrestle, I was at every show. Help setting up the ring, and I watched all the matches. So that helped me a lot. And also before Shad and I got called up to be on the main roster in WWE, we traveled. We did a lot of the live event shows, non televised shows. So we got our toes wet a little bit before they threw us on TV.
Absolutely. Now, the comment section is lighting up with some of the same questions, and I want to be as respectful as I possibly can.
Hmm.
And if you don't feel like answering any of the questions, just say so, and I'll move on.
No problem.
Getting back into wrestling now. Earlier this year, um, Shad passed away, doing probably the most heroic thing any human could ever do. Um, and thoughts and prayers to his family and to you, sir. Do
Thank
you
you.
do you do you feel like you're wrestling with him in your corner? Do you feel like he's there with you every time you step in the ring?
Every single time, absolutely. There's not
And
a
do you
there's not a show that I go to and I don't think about Shad or how he's still around. Like I still even when I'm working out, when I'm training, I might hear him in the back do another set, do another rep.
so in one other part to that question,
Hmm.
do you feel like every subject, and like I said, I want to be as respectful as I can.
Uh-huh.
Um, when you step into the match, do you feel like you're chasing the title that you guys never got to win together?
Um, Not really. I do feel like I'm representing both of us.
Absolutely.
I do believe when fans see me, they definitely think of Shad. So that's why I want to put my best foot forward to represent both of us.
Well, it's such an inspirational story. Um, how you guys made it to WWE, and like I said, with him passing earlier this year in a very heroic way. Like I said at the beginning, one of our sponsors makes a lot of custom merchandise, and earlier today she finished up something that we made for you, and that we
Oh,
hope you're
sweet.
really gonna like.
Okay.
And it was just a way to commemorate you and Shad together.
Okay.
So I'm
This
gonna
is
go
my
full
second
screen
surprise.
really. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So she makes a lot of custom cups and tumblers and stuff like that. And earlier today, she made you a custom Crime Time cup. The back, yo 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 on the front, and has a picture of you guys.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Well, this is yours, man.
Oh, I can't see it right now.
Oh, sorry. Let me go full screen
Yeah. I think your screen froze.
for you. There we go.
Yes. Your screen's a little frozen. The screen is frozen. Yeah, I can't see it.
Hmm. Can you see me now?
Still frozen.
What is going on? Today is just not the best day for interviews. Give me just one. Am
There
I
you
still?
go.
Okay,
I
great.
see you now.
All right,
Okay,
great.
you froze again though. Hold on. Sorry.
Can you see me?
No, you're frozen.
What is going on right now?
It's all right. You can send you can send me a picture later.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, wow, I really wanted to see your face when you seen it. So I know you're a very busy guy and you have a lot going on. We do have one reoccurring segment on the War Room that we like to do, and I call it the Insta Game. And basically, what I do is I take a few photos from your Instagram that I think are really cool or interesting. I throw them up on the screen, and I kind of get your feedback to it. Are you
Okay.
down for that?
I'm down for it if I can see it.
All right, let's see. Can you see this picture on the screen?
Yes, I can see that. Yes.
Okay, so growing up a lifelong fan, I imagine there were times where you were a huge fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. What was it?
Absolutely.
What was it like actually being able to hang out, talk to him, and what were some of the conversations you guys had?
I didn't realize how down to earth Steve is. He's hella cool. We was chatting. I actually made a promise to him. I broke it. I hope he doesn't hold me to it. But I told him, we were at WrestleMania and we was talking, and I said, 1 year I'm a main event WrestleMania. And I said, and he was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's a promise. He was like, okay, if you say so, I'm gonna hold you to that. But hopefully he doesn't see this interview. Um, but you know what? My career's not over, so we'll see. I still might. You never know.
You definitely have a lot of juice left in the tank.
Okay.
Um, another picture that I thought was really funny was this one right here. Who
Huh.
eats Thanksgiving with a title on their? Did that title still fit after you were done eating?
You know what? I had to loosen it up a little bit, but yeah, it still fit.
And one that I really want to know what's going on. I thought it was a very funny photo. Talk to us about what's going on right here.
Oh man, that was a great cameo from well, that wasn't really a cameo. We did a green screen because we were in the movie Sharknado 3, I believe. And in the movie Sharknado 3, they went back in time, and Shad and I were supposed to be Muhammad Ali and Frazier with poorly lace fronts and wigs. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but it's Sharknado, so yeah, let it slide.
I got you. And the last one I thought was it's just absolutely adorable. It's a photo that I believe you said your daughter drew of you.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how pretty much jacked you got, and this is how your daughter sees you. How did it feel seeing this photo or this
Uh,
picture she drew?
Oh, I was very proud of myself. Like, yeah, she really made sure my arms are big, and yeah, make sure you don't skip leg day. those,
You
those
know,
could have been easily stick figures right there, but she put some muscle on them legs.
children are the most brutally honest people in the world. Like
Yeah,
the other day, my son looked at me and was like, "Daddy, you're fat." I was
damn,
like, "Wow."
out of nowhere, huh?
So, so for your daughter to see you the way that you want to be seen, shows that you're putting in the work and that everything comes full circle, man. Um, I really appreciate the time that we've had here with you. I apologize for all the technical difficulties. I hope one
Oh
day we
no,
can run. I hope one day we can run this back when everything's working fine. And we just had a very bad storm come through here, so it's probably messing with the Wi-Fi a little bit.
it's
Um,
all good, man. I appreciate you having me, man, at the war room. Thanks for having me.
abs- absolutely. Before you leave, man, let everybody know where they can find you, follow you, and keep up with everything you have going on.
You can follow me on Instagram at JTG121084. For guys who are wondering what the 121084 is, that's my birthday, which is actually next week, December 10th. And on Twitter, it is JTG1284. And if you have a beard and you want to be sexy as hell, go come on down to sahbeardcare.com, beard and body. So not only would your beard smell good, you can have the matching scent, so you can be smelling good from head to toe. And keep your eyes out for the newbie's guide to big biceps. So easy, a baby could do it, a child could do it, and TMOS, testosterone boosting CMOS, and
Abs-
gummies.
Absolutely. Once again, I can't thank you enough for being here. And just because you mentioned your birthday, last comment from the audience says, from Daniel Smith, he's an avid viewer of the show, says, "Can I please have a shout out from JTG? It is my birthday Sunday."
It's your birthday Sunday. Well, big shout out to Daniel. Daniel, wherever you live, I want you to go to the strip club and tell them JTG sent you, and go get you a free lap dance. Just tell them JTG, it's on JTG, and they're gonna hook you up. All right, I got you.
JTG, thank you so much. And if I can just have one more minute of your time after the live feed ends, I'd really appreciate it. Guys, this has been this episode of The War Room. Make sure you go follow JTG on all social media platforms. He's got a lot of independent dates coming up. So if you want to see just how good he is and how he hasn't missed a single step, make sure you follow him everywhere you go. Guys, we'll see you next week with another episode of The War Room. Thank you and good night.